Since 2012, Uganda National Association of Community and Occupational Health, UNACOH, is implementing an alcohol control project in selected sub-counties of Jinja and Masindi districts in Uganda. The project is supported by the International Organization of Good Templars. The project is intended to address the health and economic effects of alcohol consumption. Against this background, UNACOH is engaging local government leadership and technical staff, local councillors, village health teams, the police, school children, and community at large who have participated in interventions that will eventually lead to regulation of both excessive consumption and selling of alcohol.
When tugenda kulenga okubaza nk'abantu osinatu jambo na crime preventers hakiri bondo botandikise ekirwawo kyokwata ne batwalaga kuti nabakuna abekyalo bakoleki bali batinire bagamba hadi bakwatire kuli nacho kuno bakolaki bakutukwata kyanti okusembayo itu abakulu twina kwakiro lwawo iwa kwekesa ogukeeramu kyonkangu okukwata oli kanaye naye bayirenka mubala
tough penalties such that if a man, if they see it, if we say, if we get you on the 1st of July selling alcohol, the first penalty should be 100,000 shillings. If we, and you pay that. If we get you the second time, you pay 500. If we get you the third time, you pay $1 million. Such tough penalties deter people from selling. So that's what I wanted us to put here. Yes, penalties, but tough ones. Indeed, and we must sensitize them that the penalties are there and that they are tough penalties.
And then let us go together on the ground and sensitize the community. And we tell them the problem associated with those over drinking, all those things. So there I will be able to enforce after sensitizing the community. We can use all the platforms to sensitize the community, like in churches, like in functions, burial places, all those things. If we can sensitize the community, and the community should be aware about those bylaws. So there we shall be able to enforce those bylaws.
Over the years of implementation, the Alcohol Control Project has had profound impact and is changing many lives among the victims of excessive alcohol consumption. One of the outputs of the project is the approval of bylaws regulating selling and excessive consumption of alcohol by Bwijanga and Budongo sub-counties in Masindi district. The bylaws, among others, provide regulated time period for operation of bars and alcohol cellars, a total ban on selling alcohol packed in small sachet totes, engagement of children in the alcohol production chain from brewing, transporting and marketing, and stopping pregnant women from consuming alcohol. The bylaws also spells out penalties for the offenders.
Bwijanga sub-county and Budongo sub-counties were identified as the people who take booze in the whole district the most. But now, as Bwijanga sub-county, we have come out with bylaws and which we are going to enforce. Very early in the morning, you find people already in bars drinking. But now we have put there a bylaw. Bars will be opening starting from 5 and closing not later than a half past 11. Sometimes you find young children also taking booze. That one is really embarrassing. Very early in the morning, the child is supposed to go to school. Sometimes when you're trying to awake him or her, can't wake up because he also overdrank. Sometimes you find children also boozing with the parents.
The LC5 councillor representing Budongo Sub-County, Beatrice Bijirencha, has strong conviction that the bylaw will be enforced despite the alleged fear of resistance from the beneficiaries of alcohol production and consumption.
I want to assure you people around, our bylaws are going to work. And by the way, you worry less. The community is alert, ready, very ready, and good enough. We came up with bylaws. They said you are welcome. This thing is going to help us, the community itself. So no worry, bylaws are going to work.
Gerald Makumbi, the project coordinator, noted that UNACOH's efforts to bring up the concerns arising out lack of effective regulation on selling and excessive consumption of alcohol has been commended by the respective stakeholders.
We are impressed that the councillors and the community have embraced the bylaws, and they have also discussed at length how they are going to disseminate them, the strategies to make sure these bylaws function. I was also impressed by the presence of police, the area police officers, who very clearly committed themselves to the bylaws to make sure they function. And the councillor, LC5, closing the function with the commitment and appreciation of the work the UNACOH people have done. So it's all been good and successful. I'm impressed.
Mercy Wanyana, UNACOH Alcohol Control Project Officer, said that stakeholders resolved that a trading license certificate issued to alcohol sellers should clearly state the alcohol control regulations in the bylaw.
In Bwijanga, they are going to include a clause of the bylaws on their license such that each person who is going to operate a bar legally is aware of those bylaws and the regulations on the sale of alcohol. They're also going to work with the suppliers of the sachets and share these copies with them to inform them. Budongo is also unique in the fact that on top of the other stakeholders, they're going to work with crime preventers to sensitize and help people know about the law. And they're also going to work with the police actively.
Participants at the dissemination meeting of the bylaws also resolved on several dissemination strategies that include public awareness using the media, community meetings and events, providing a grace period of 3 months to allow complete stockout of the outlawed alcohol sachet totes.
It is now our resolve as local leadership that better than before, for now we are going to increase awareness on the bylaw so that everybody is aware. They say ignorance of law has no defense, but for us, we first want to create awareness that everybody is aware of this law. As a leader, every time that is going to be given to me, at least I use a minute or two to ensure that I put that message across. But also as a sub-county, our technical team together with all of us, we're going to ensure that the resources are allocated in the forms of radio announcements, in the forms of talk shows, to ensure that the community is aware about this bylaw.
So we need to crack down on alcohol consumption and make sure we reduce the amounts of alcohol being consumed. There are those who don't mind whether he sees a home being broken, a broken home, he doesn't mind. For as long as for him he's making money, he will give the alcohol, go and drink, finish yourself. For him he makes an income.
Awareness raising among the respective target groups is a key behavioral change intervention that the Alcohol Control Project is promoting. In this respect, the project is developing and disseminating information, education and communication materials.
Alcohol because it affects their baby. Then this one is also something common. School children or people under 18 buying alcohol, their brain is still developing. So if they drink alcohol, they won't be as bright as they would have. So you will share this.
We are now here, today we are here to introduce a new law in this sub-county which has been approved by the district. We did not come out with these ideas. The communities in Budongo, Bwijanga suggested that they don't want sachets anymore because they are the cause of the biggest problem of alcohol comes from sachets. They are small, so they are available everywhere. They can be afforded. They are cheap. So the district has approved that there will be no sale of sachets. Care for yourself and the family if you have to have one. So many of you here young with babies. Yeah? But this is not the end of life. You can have that baby grow probably by the help of your mother or your parents and go back to school. It is never too late.
Alcohol is supposed to be sold to persons above 18. But now, not only in villages, even in towns, even a child of 8 years or 10 years is being given alcohol. The reason is because those people are doing business. But now, like you people who are trying to solve those issues, how will you solve that issue?
There is the law. That is the law I'm talking about that is going to be introduced today. It is approved by the district. It was previously approved by the sub-county, but it could not be operationalized until the district, endorses it.
We are going down to our communities to tell them that today we have received these bylaws. We are going to continue sensitizing them, and they should follow the bylaws because this is a government program.
Shall we be using the radio stations, sport messages over radio stations, and then radio talk shows to disseminate the information?
At this community meeting in Chiatiri, Pakanye sub-county in Masindi district, members who have stopped alcohol consumption and selling raised their hands in confirmation of the positive change.
People are generally aware that alcohol is really dangerous, and so they are able to save now. People are healthier than they were. Reports we get from the health centers indicate that very few cases are taken there in coma, alcohol coma.
Joy Nakabgo Namansa is a resident of Chirinya, Kakira sub-county in Jinja district. She used to consume excessive alcohol. She narrates some of the dangers she got exposed to. I started consuming alcohol at a tender age. Whenever I got drunk, I would fight. I got arrested several times. One female member of our peer drinking group was strangled while another one was raped. Thanks to God, I escaped narrowly. The horrifying event shaped my thinking, and eventually I decided to stop alcohol consumption. Joy Nakabgo attributes her positive behavioral change to the perseverance and friendly approach that UNACOH project staff and partners use to persuade community members to stop excessive alcohol consumption. The approach used by UNACOH Alcohol Control Project staff in sensitization is very friendly. They never gave up on us, even if we did not show any sign to change instantly. Thomas Tibita is 65 years. He hails from Chisiriro village, Nabitambala parish, Busede sub-county in Jinja district. He used to deal in selling alcohol. It is now 5 years since he stopped after the intervention of UNACOH Alcohol Control Project.
At least for me, alcohol selling was not a very easy business. I faced a lot of difficulties. Some of my customers would fight me after getting drunk. I took a decision to a better alternative. I decided to sell boiled cowhead meat and sweet potatoes. In addition, I sell tomatoes and charcoal. I have benefited in threefold. I now have peace, meaningful friends that I relate with, and also earn some income for my livelihood.
This is Adrupe Francesca Glorias from Masindi. She narrates her ordeal and shares the circumstances that led her to leave alcohol selling business.
I used to booze UG, and no one would take UG more than 5 bottles a day. This one of 15,000, but I used to take that one. Yeah, and my mom was always conscious. She would ask her friends to give her advice, or else she sends people to me that I should stop taking. But finally, I stop it just minus someone's notice, and no one is knowing that I'm going to stop. I found myself stopping it. I saw one of my colleagues took excessively until he was admitted. Finally, some 2 weeks back, he came and took from a stand bar, got accident which was seriously. He armed his hands with the knees, so he was admitted. That is other than Joseph. Up to now, he's not okay. He's lame. So I said, let me leave it because I've seen people dying day and night.
She's happy that besides giving up on selling alcohol, she has also stopped consuming alcohol.
I found life okay as myself. I also don't take. I stopped taking. Found that I have no problem. Thoughts are not there. Even too much headache. That always dizziness. I feel I'm okay and I'm free. I'm set, just free.
Other project beneficiaries provide testimonies with respect to their behavioral transformation. Peter Lukwang is a security officer working with Kinyara Sugar Company in Masindi.
When I joined Kinyara, I started getting at least something which was enough to benefit our home. But I joined a group of boys which were drinking alcohol, of which in alcohol I misused a lot of money. Just in 2 months, I could get like 300 per month, and I misused all. I cried later. I shedded tears. I said, now I'm doing bad things. I recognized and I reconciled to myself.
There are so many living examples, if you moved around, of people who have been drinking, then suddenly they leave or they reduce, and you will see massive changes in their lives. You will see massive changes in their homes, and if you get many more examples like that, you will see very many changes in those communities, and the sub-county will have a different outlook.
This is an evaluation exercise for the year 2018. The objective of the exercise is to ascertain the changes that have come as a result of the intervention.
We are seeing a lot of changes. Other changes are reported by the leaders. People are now aware about the dangers of alcohol, and they have come back to their senses. They are able to educate their children, those who are not able to take children to school. So the saving, because of reducing on alcohol expenditure, they are able to take their children to school. And they are universally reporting very limited domestic violence which is related to alcohol consumption. So this is, to us, a very big positive move because of this intervention.
The project is promoting the ultimate and urgent need for shifting from businesses in the alcohol production chain to alternative viable livelihood sustenance activities. Mary Florence currently runs a roadside restaurant. She used to sell and consume excessive alcohol.
Mimi nawata sahi karibu kama na banahesabu nawezi kuwa kama mwaka 3.
It is now over 3 years since I left selling alcohol. This was after I encountered a number of associated problems. Currently, I sell food at a restaurant. It is a better alternative compared to selling alcohol. This is cleaner money. I can now afford to pay school fees for my children. This would not be possible if I did not leave alcohol business. The project has had profound impact and has changed the lives and attitude of the beneficiaries.
Embera gye tubaddemu emabega eri nga tuli mu mbeera ey'okunywa omwenge.
We have changed our attitude towards alcohol consumption. This is attributed to sensitization exercise conducted under the Alcohol Control Project. We are now very careful. We no longer spend all our money on alcohol. We are also very cautious with respect to time management.
Ebiseera bye twamaliranga mu kunywa omwenge wabikyusiza ddala tetukyalina time.
We used to waste a lot of our productivity in alcohol consumption and related activities.
Ffe twesiimisa pulojekiti eyo olw'ensonga nti kati saawa zino buli muntu mu maka.
Most of our families are happier and stable since husbands have reformed and come back home early. They positively share a lot with the family members.
Eby'omwenge baabivaako abasinga.
There is strong conviction and need to sustain the impact of this project. In this regard, UNACOH is calling upon the respective stakeholders and duty bearers to support this effort.
We are urging government to stop the production of these sachets. The community is really crying a lot about these sachets. They are the biggest cause of problems. As I said earlier, they are cheap, they are available and affordable. Everybody can afford it. We find those which are even 150 shillings. The most expensive is 500. A cost which we relate to the cost of water, much cheaper than the cost of water. So the government should come up strongly to ban these sachets because they are really spoiling the lives of the communities.
In addition, it is important that other like-minded non-governmental organizations join UNACOH by incorporating or mainstreaming the Stop Excessive Alcohol Consumption within their program activities.
So we need to put our hands together, go in and enforce. Like the sub-county chief has said, we may not stop the drinking, but we should regulate. And by regulating, you will see a lot of change.